and the Jubilee Manifesto was very clear about the transforming the lives of people. It was one of the pillars about the transformation of people through improving their livelihoods, through improving the health sector. And wacha tuite kijiko kijiko, na sahani itwe sahani, na spade a spade, not a big spoon. You will find that this issue of health sector, wale madaktari wameajiriwa pale kwa public offices, public health care kama level 5, Thika level 5 hospital, utawapata ndio wamepitia mlango ya nyuma wakaeka chemist. They even go ahead and prescribe some medicines for you. Go and buy it somewhere else. Hiyo kiosk ni yao. You find that this being a county where this is the backyard of Uhuru Kenyatta. He was very passionate about his legacy, and I'm 101% sure that he channeled all his manpower, everything toward improving the livelihoods of our people. But the problem is, are these elected leaders accountable for whatever is happening? Let me give a scenario ile ya hospitali. Sai mtoto akiwajeka ama mama apatwe na ile labor pains, akimbizwe hapa level 5 hospital na apelekwe pale pengine which is a private hospital, ako likely kuangaliwa vizuri akiwa private kuliko kwa public. Why? Kwa sababu our leaders ama wale pia wameajiriwa pale have lost what we call humankind. They don't have this human nature. They don't have that aspect of humanity. Utapata umekuwa mgonjwa, like umeingia hapo ni saa 4 for example, umeingia saa 4, utawapata watu 10 wa chai wamerelax, ni kama hakuna kazi waliajiriwa wafanye hapo na wanapewa pesa.
I think my brother is getting lost somewhere, and allow me to correct him. For you to establish a hospital, one thing you need is RAD, right? When, as a member of parliament, you decide that we're going to build a hospital in Juja, the only thing you need is RAD. If you get RAD, then you can do the infrastructure. Then you hand over the hospital to the county government. So, we have something of RAD in Juja. No, in fact, I remember there's a man who had donated 100 acres for cancer center in Juja. You remember? Moribo. So he had donated a piece of land for Juja to have a cancer center. But you see, the member of parliament who was then, I think he left before he implemented. The current one we have did nothing about it. But you see, if only he go get that piece of land, do the infrastructure, then when it comes to equipping the hospital with medicine and also the staffing, that's leave it to the county. How about the hospital to the county and start working? Because you see, doctors have nothing to do with us not getting into the hospital. Our member of parliament, just a minute, our member of parliament have a problem. Two, I think as we are trying to state that the need of that level 4 hospital, we need to ask ourselves a question. It is on record that our member of parliament, the current member of parliament in Juja, was slated to be in the health ministry in the parliament, right? He only attended 3 times. But because he had no capacity to articulate any issue concerning health, alitolewa, right? In fact, nasikia alikuwa anaongea Kikuyu kwa nani bunge, of course the bunge hawezi ongea Kikuyu. But you see, we are talking about lack of capacity to articulate issues concerning the health. That's why you find it that for a constituency to grow, one of the key determining factor is the capacity of the member of parliament to articulate the issues, to legislate, and also to lobby. If that person have that capacity, then at least you have 50% almost done. But if you don't have a person with that capacity, because most of the money that is allocated to the member of parliament is already for health, and also for security, for schools, and maybe salary for the offices. But you see, you need a person who will be able to face the Minister of Health, a person who can be able to face the county, and articulate issues concerning the health. So I think purely it's right to the Member of Parliament.
But the good thing about the health, it was a devolved
function. So
function, yeah?
yeah, it was a devolved function.
Yeah.
And even when the president was channeled a lot of money, because you go to places like Iran, the national government has channeled the money there. So it also depends with the goodwill of the current governor.
Yes.
So at the same time, you may go to those hospitals and they are charities, but is the county government of the day, does it have goodwill to the people of Kiambu East? That's why you find that Juja, we are lagging behind because resources and funds have been channeled to only one side of the county. And I think it's the right time for us, we the people of the Kiambu East, to think and think beyond. We should also have a governor coming from this side. And if we lose the governor, we get even the CC members who will be able to articulate for our issues. Because if you look at even the way we have the current county government, the CCs, most of them, they are not from this side. You only have a deputy governor from Atondo South, and she may not be in a position also to lobby for the funds. So from the MCAs, have the office of governor, we need people who can be able to lobby for the funds, and people who can even, we have, get MCAs who can knock even to the national government offices to get these funds.
That is very clear. That is very clear. But I want us to leave the vocality part aside. I want us to discuss it on our next meeting. I want us meeting so that we are able to hold our leaders accountable for what they promise us during the campaign. So my question is, what is the timeline? Like in our offices that we work in, we do something we call performance appraisal. So this performance appraisal, the accountability that we want to do to our leaders, after how long? After how long should I start asking calculation? Umefanya nini? Koimboli, what have you done in it? Like, is there a duration of time that I should give them? How much should I wait for 4 years? Nianze kumuuliza ulifanya nini the 4 years? I will start with you.
Maybe before I go to that question, I think it's a burning issue.
Okay.
It's only fair if I contributed in
The health sector.
the health sector. At independence, the independence government was facing 3 challenges. That is disease, poverty, and ignorance. 59 years down the line, we still have the same problems. In my ward, for example, we only have a small structure that was constructed by the first governor, William Kabogo. That structure, which is smaller than my small store in my home, has 1 staff, 1 medic. The medic barely has a dust coat. So when my constituents get unwell, they always seek medical care in Thika Level 5, or maybe Gashororo, and sometimes in a place we call this insecure place in Thika. What do you call it? Kiandutu. And that is in a different constituency. From where I sit, I want to believe that some politicians have made healthcare something to politicize in this sense, that they have made us poor deliberately, and they will at some point they will come and they have made sure that our health sector is ailing deliberately to make sure that they politicize in this sense. You will see politicians who are mandated to handle this sector come and contribute when we have michangos to contribute to our patients to go to India and other places. These people who are mandated with the responsibility to making sure that we are having a working health sector will come and contribute. And now that in Kenya we play what we call populist politics, we'll now clap and say this is our man. But this same guy is the one who has made sure that we are in this very sorry state of health. And our people, I want to speak looking straight to your eye and tell you, we need to wake up. We need to change, and we need to change our mindset. Things are not well. If you go to and look at the state of Gashororo Hospital, it's a challenge, it's a big mess. And I want to correct my friend Wakili Kamanya. Health is devolved, we need to understand. We need to keep, at least to not whip our blames on the member of parliament. Understanding what you call the CDF Act. We don't have resources under the CDF that are supposed to be channeled toward health. The CDF is solely for running the office of the the MP for security and education. So at least we need to not to people brains on the office of the member of parliament. But I want to believe that now that the government is sort of an institution where people are supposed to work hand in hand for the better of the people. Our member of parliament, MCA and governor need to pull up their socks and make sure that we have a working health sector. Coming back to the issue of scorecard, we have a good working constitution that stipulates that every 5 years we need to go back to elections. And this is where now our members of parliament, anybody seeking any elective position, come back to the people with their scorecard. And the people are supposed to evaluate and see have these people lived up to our expectation. If they have not, we send them home packing. Unfortunately, we have a skewed political system whereby our politicians have learned the art of manipulating our people. Having understood that we are poor, they have used our very resources that they have looted after we have elected them to come and influence us negatively. That is why we have in most elections ended up electing bad leaders. Unfortunately, we also have a class of people who are a bit enlightened, who shy away from engaging in political activities. And I want to tell you this, the good people of Juja. Bad leaders are elected by good people who shy away from active politics. So this time around, we need to actively participate in political matters and make the decisions, because these decisions come back home to haunt.
Pastor Jane, on the accountability, I had an issue with some few friends of mine. They were saying they took the electoral petition to the governor, then all of a sudden it could be felt anywhere. Do we say that we as the people do not do the follow-ups? Like we just come and drop this petition on your table and leave it, then after 5 years when you come back looking for votes, it's when we remind you of something that we asked you to do back in 2012. Should we have a follow-up system? Like after 1 year, if I say Koigori should have done this vote to this level, has he done it? How often should we be checking?
Before I come to your question, I think I want to quote the Bible in the book of 2 Kings 2 from 19, where people came to Elisha and cried to him. And actually they said the surrounding is good. And I can really nifananisha na Juja. Yani the surrounding is so good, but wakambia Elisha, the soil and water of this place is not productive. Why I'm saying this, you know, there is something I don't comprehend. Juja, we have a university. And actually, the problem is not with the wananchi. If we have leaders who can really be able to lobby, because what are we gaining? We have actually, this I think it is one of the best universities in East and Central Africa. It is in the core, inside Juja sub-county. But when at the end of the day, actually you realize there are so many cases between the university and the community. We have a case here where the university had decided to put a very big wall to people's plots. So I think there is a problem. And I think this is the high time we cry like those people who cry to Elisha that we have a town here that is in a very good surrounding, but it is not the water and the soil, because a place is about water and the soil. It is not productive. And now we start this dialogue. What is the problem? Because I want to believe that this is a town where everybody will be admiring. Lakini, what we are getting from the university is the IT crime, people who can be able to go and steal from the banks. But what are these positive things? Because if I was the member of parliament of Juja, I think one of the things I would handle lobby is the university. What are we benefiting from this university? Because you realize even the workers, They come from other places. You realize the locals are not benefiting. So whose problem is it? Because when I take my papers there, the member of parliament should go and say, and it is a policy that an institution should always take the highest percentage from the locals. Now, yeah, 70%.
Yes.
Now, if we can do those mathematics clearly, because this is what I'm saying, now we need to sit down and have a serious dialogue. The MP who is the incoming MP who is coming, if I come to your question now, I think these people, ndio unasikia tukiwachagua mtu anapandisha ndio. So when now you want to take your proposal, it is so hard in this nation to reach an MCA who is manning award, an MP. I don't know, you go through how many. I think one of the MPs I used to know, he was very reachable to everybody, is our dear, our late MP Wakapeme. He so rest in peace. The man was really resonating with the people on the ground. And seeing a governor in this Kiambu County, it is a tall order. Now, I usually do a lot of community work with the youth, and they are always complaining. We have a very good document here. We have taken it to the Ministry of Sports in the county government. Hiyo kitu inasahaulika. So I don't know whether we are going to have forums whereby when you get into power, can it be very easy? Because let me tell you, it is not everybody who is coming to you because of problems. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and actually, I think the wiser MP or the wiser MCA would be the person who is resonating with the people on the ground. So that now, I can tell you now, since we get kwa hiyo kiti, there is this and this and this problem. So what I'm saying, my prayer is one, God to give us good leaders in Juja, because we have a lot of oil. It is very, very unfortunate. As he is saying, money is taken from Kwale, from Juja, actually Juja sub-county. It is taken to develop Kabete. It is taken to develop, it is very unfortunate. And I think it is very unfair. So I think it is the high time that as we are putting new offices, because personally I think from governor, through the MPs, through the MCAs, personally I think I have all new ones, apart from one, my MC, because he has done all the others. I think I'm putting an X, because I think we need to have a very serious dialogue. We need to get people who can be accountable. That Juja we have Kwales, Juja we have a university. How are we getting it? Because we don't need it to case with the vice chancellor. We are the majority. It is our university. Yeah, so we don't, and we have some wazes here. Like we have one mzee here from Juja, anaitwa Baba Waithaka, and that man, sometimes I really pity him. Going to the courts every time because of Juja. Universities do wamefanya nini? And you see, sometimes they get tired. They don't know where to go. And also, you can imagine, on top of having Juarez, university, the president come from this place. Are you getting it? It is so unfortunate. Because I think for the 10 years, we have also enjoyed having a president coming from our county. I think we'll be enjoying a small city in a city. That is Juja. So my prayer is that the leaders we are going to put in place, we are going to change, and we must change. We must have a different dialogue altogether.
Thank you so much for that. I want someone to tell me, when we talk about vocality, like tunataka ule mtu analala kwa barabara, mtu anakuja hapo anaongesha meza, ama mtu anachukua tu documents vizuri, those notes on someone's door. What is vocality in this case? Because at times we were discussing about some MPs somewhere out of, I think, Kiambu. He's in Kiambu, he's in Kiambu. We were saying this MP is not a pacemaker. He really rarely stands in the parliament. But ukiangalia constituency yake imeendelea. What is it about lobbying? Or rather, how should lobbying be done? Ben?
Yeah, I think when it comes to lobbying, lazima wakuwe na the good rapport with the governor. Then I want to pose a question to you guys. I happen to be invited kwa ile launching yake ya kusema chenye amefanya for 2 years. It was kind of a birthday for 2 years, and I took some few points from his speech. Na akasema 4 points that nataka sasa kujua Juja mmefit na nini, kwa sababu kuna vitu mingi hapa sioni mimi. So moja nilisikia he has managed to get over 1,000 kilometers of roads upgraded to bitumen standards, 1,500 kilometers of rural access roads rehabilitated. Hiyo sijui kama umeona hapa, hiyo ni moja. Then on the issue of health, we had first ICU in 100 years opened at Kiambu Level 5 Hospital. Bed capacity in hospital increased from 100 to 1,000. Hiyo ni ya Kiambu, si hapa Juja. Hiyo hatujaona hapa, I don't think tumeipata. 20,000 homes connected to pipe water. Connectivity to increase from 56% to 85%. Then we had the last one, youth empowerment through sport, entrepreneurship training, and donation of kienyeji chicken and piglets. Sijui hizo vitu kama umeona hapa, kwa sababu kuna zenye mingi sijaona.
I think when he's talking about the ICU, first of all, let us understand that, especially COVID had its own disadvantage and disadvantages. I think most of the hospitals have been upgraded with COVID. You remember, right? The hospital like Tigoni, Kiambu. There are some hospitals that purposely were designed to ensure that they have ICU able to handle the COVID cases. So when it says about 200 days in ICU in Kiambu, I think we can just give that to maybe the COVID, one of the advantage of COVID-19, because those happened. But let me answer the question that was so critical when she asked about lobbying, and maybe when another becomes for. Lobbying is one of the areas that will make a constituency grow, because all MPs are not given enough facts concerning their needs. I'm one of the person who is very critical and also who studies MP who are especially transforming their constituencies, their wards, and also maybe international. If you look at most of those MPs, governors, or presidents who have been able to ensure that they have transformed the society, one of the things they have is the capacity, the brain capacity. 2, the network, right? 3, they ensure that before you make sure that you impose or you bring development to your people, you build capacity of the people. You get the point? You see, there are so many people in Juja who can work, they have the knowledge, they have everything, but they just need a physical exercise. They have the brain, they have the knowledge. But if they're given a platform to exercise that knowledge, they may not be able to do that. But when you come up with a structure or institution that transform that knowledge to a skill, then by the time you are bringing the resources that you have brought from outside, they fall in the hand of people who are equipped, they are skilled, they are empowered. So instead of exporting manpower, you use your manpower. When you use your manpower, what happens is the cost that would have been used to bring other people here, or maybe to export those skills, that money will go directly to the person who is supposed to benefit, right? Who is a resident of maybe that particular area, and in return, what happens? That those areas grow physically, and also the people grow financially. You get the point? But most of our MPs do, and I'm giving a case study of Rwanda. You see, before they brought, I think it's only country where you can be able to transport medicine through a drone. Yes, but here, maybe there's an emergency in Thika. The hospital go hapa. You don't just need to Nigeria to transport. They just take a drone, and achieve everything, then said directed to go there. Why? Because before he brought all those systems, he first of all equipped the manpower. That's the first thing. So when you're talking about robbing, there are those in the dimensions. Because you can't rob when you don't have the intelligence or the know-how of what is needed and where that resource lies. I'll give you a very good example of what it means to have network. There's a class that is called a class of 87. When Tom Boy went to USA and met JF Kennedy the first time, what he was offered, he requested, can I bring some people from Kenya, come study in US, maybe medicine and also go start. When they're coming back, they got in this case. He was given, he gave around, what's the thousand? I can't remember the number. But he took a chunk of medics from Kenya, he took them to US, they got the Iran. By the time they're coming, they come with skills. You get the point? So when that person are coming, that's why, if you remember, there was a time, if you go to most of these senior hospitals, most of the senior medics are not Kikuyus, they are not those who find them, maybe Ruos or Kambas there. Because they had somebody who did it intentionally to equip them. So when you're looking for somebody who can be able to do it for us, because if you go to Kiambu County, Kiambu constituency, it's one of the areas that John will be able to do a lot, not so the Kikuyu. Because they have been able to build the capacity. Finally, if you go to youth fund, the West Fund that is given to the young people, do you know how the constituents that they get the best or the highest percentage of that money? Be an example, just a question. A constituent that develops and benefits from the highest amount from youth fund or some other fund. Which one? No, it's not Kikuyu constituency. Why? Because Ishomwa mobilized the young people from every village, brought them together, educated them, showed them how to do business, then brought them the funds. That's all you need for your people to grow. Yes.
That is very nice. I want us to end our discussion there for today. But next time when we're meeting, it is now that when we put our expectations on the table. What is our expectation for the next 5 years? What is our expectation of the person that we want to choose from the many aspirants? As at now, they are all aspirants. They are all aspirants, they are aspiring to do something, and we want to look deeper into these things that they are promising to us. Will they deliver? And as we touch on that, when we were discussing about developments in our various wards, there were so many buts. And I would feel like, as the voters, there's a gap between us, the voters, and the expectations. Like, we do not understand we're supposed to do this, and we're supposed to do this. Do we need a civic education to educate our voters? Just before we start vetting who to choose for what position, do we need to educate our people and let them know, Kalpesh cannot do this, Kangore cannot do this, Nyoro cannot do this. Like, let people know what the coalition came with. As we end with that, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for maoni yenu. We invite more of our viewers. Kindly join us next time. We want to see viewers. Send us questions because we are representing you. We want to be the voice of the community. My name is Eva Nyawera and I'm a Kalimoni voter. Thank you.